Hey everybody, Kushwality here with another 1v1 analysis, and this time we're here with Aszman. So this is an obvious kickoff goal here, so what we want to do is break this down a little bit. Get it on Aszman, see if we can fly it down towards this kickoff here, and we'll slow it down here once it gets closer to that kickoff. So what we're looking for here is the timing and difference in touch with relation to the center of the ball there. Slow this down. So Aszman's getting the first touch on the ball, but he's side dodging through, and that's a large part of why Sombra is able to take that over him. If he used that like 6 boost he had and really just worked on like powering through the ball in the center, he would have got a lot stronger of a touch there, but Sombra did play the slow kickoff well. Neutral 50-50 here off the kickoff. See how Aszman takes this. Good job slow playing it, not giving it right back to Sombra. I want to say that this is a mechanical mistake, like an accidental backflip, but Aszman wants to be going for this immediately off the bounce and just power shooting it in from the side. The angle that he had was pretty rough. I'm not even sure if that would have been on, but from that point on, there's nothing he can do from there. Here he's choosing to go away from the ball, but he's not going to be punished because I believe he should have known that Sombra should have had to play that from the near post, so he wasn't in any immediate danger. And I really like this backflip shot adaptation. So Sombra's sitting in net and he's recognizing that he's not getting challenged, so Sombra's just going to play that high above him and away from his spot there around that, so good job. Good job staying on that. Sombra's hesitation is going to punish him, but he won't get scored on. Good job keeping some pressure, but not overcommitting too much there. So that's a good attempt, but I believe you should be using your boost here. Use your boost as part of the power slide to get there quicker and apply more power to your shots. You would have made a tighter turn had you boosted and power slided at the same time, which would have allowed you to produce a better angle on that challenge there. Slow playing it with this little bit of boost, gonna flick it high. Sombra will save it. Good attempt there. There's not too much you can do with the low amount of boost. Taking it away from Sombra, just gonna play the midfield. Not the worst idea here. Good job taking it over before Sombra could play it. Good job playing that. Timing as well, not too quickly going for the shot when you didn't need to, but still just getting it over him. That chip shot's going to kill Sombra there, so it's a perfect job just driving into that instead of dodging, because you can still produce a shot on like that, but be able to follow it up at the same time, so I do believe that was a really good good play from Aszman there. Sombra just didn't get up high enough to save that. So this, similar to what I've seen a lot of the players do around like diamond and below, is when he's going for this shot, he's getting himself off the wall, but he's not tilting into the ball quick enough. So if I slow this down, you'll see what I mean. He's dodging. He's jumping off the wall and he's boosting, but he's not tilting his car back at all. So he's producing like a soft angled touch with that. Had he boosted back to meet that ball around the center line of his car from the front there, he would have produced a lot more power off of that clear. So when you are jumping off the wall for a shot, it's really important to be incorporating taking a line to the ball from that wall, because you have to realize if you're just jumping, you're still going to be facing straight up, and you're not going to be producing any of the amount of power that you should be. So this turnaround is what's going to kill him here. I think he recognized that, but he should not be power sliding here. Sombra's giving him enough time and space to where instead he should just be turning around and boosting. So here, he wants to use that boost and give himself a little bit more distance and just power slide, like drift boost back to face the ball from another way. He shouldn't be turning into the wall and then back to the ball. He should be turning the other direction to produce a better line at that with the way it was bouncing. You see how it threw him off there? Good clear over. Sombra's going to punish you for that hesitation. You can go back and get the boost, but you shouldn't stop boosting there. You should be going at that 100% from the wall. Sombra's recognizing that hesitation. Don't be afraid to use a lot of your boost to get a play going, especially like that. If you win the challenge, you don't need too much, and that's what the 12 pads are for. So there you're just hesitating to get the ball off your car. When it's bouncing like this, you just gotta get some height on that ball right away, because he should be challenging at that point. You just want to pop it over him. Yeah, so that challenge there is what's going to kill you, and that's because you're not turning sharp enough here. So this is another instance where you really want to be incorporating your power slide and boost into turning on the ball. Had you used that to cut in with a tighter angle, you would have been challenging from a much stronger place on your car to produce a lot more power on that. But Sombra is putting more power on the 50-50 there, so he's going to win. This is a little anxious of a chip away. He's far enough away to you just want to play that around the corner boost there, so you can pick it up and play it around him. Taking his time here. Sombra's going to give him a lot of space. Good 50-50 win there in the midfield. See how Aszman follows this up. A little bit of hesitation to get it off from the challenge, but at the same time, Aszman doesn't want to really be committing himself there near the near post, so it's a good chip shot. Producing height from that rolling ball by just driving straight into it. It's a good job with Sombra just driving straight at that. This is a rough ball for Aszman to be going for here. Because he canceled all of his momentum by stopping, he's making it a lot harder on himself to be able to touch that in a productive manner to save it. In this instance, I would probably still recommend touching the ball. You're in front of him, so just bounce this off of that near post and keep it going with you. If you're going to get that boost ahead of him, you see he's going to recognize that and try to play the ball around you. And that puts you in a tough spot, because even though you have the boost, he still currently has that possession. So when you're running around his side of the pitch there, really try to keep that ball with you. Again, refusing to use the boost you had here. You should be using all of that boost to get to that ball quickly and chip it up with a lot more power so you can continue it. Good job not overcommitting there. It's a decent return back. Just offline. I want to see... Okay, I want to slow this down a bit, try to make sure that you produce as much power as you possibly could. And this is a good turn here. It's a good job challenging him here early in the air. Okay, so I think you lost a bit of power there by stopping your boost with the dodge. Try to keep that boost going through the dodge. Incorporate that as part of your strike onto the ball. Really surprised Sombra didn't score there. You have a lot too much vertical momentum or forward momentum when you're going towards this, and because you keep boosting, you're too far ahead of it. So when you do turn around like this, if you're going to be going for the ball with him taking a shot like that, make sure that you're not boosting forward, because you see you boosted a little bit right before your jump here, and that gave you way too much forward momentum to fly past that ball. So when the ball's coming to you and you're about to go up for a challenge, try to make sure that you're not throwing yourself too far out there in front of it. Sombra just missed the initial challenge, but he's going to finish that. Yeah, so it's that initial touch there that kills you. And I think it's largely because of this wide line that you're taking initially. So when this is going, you should be turning sharper back into the ball to make sure that you can touch it before him. And yeah, here you're just turning too far in front of the ball. So again, that's just a little bit too much forward momentum when you're turning on the ball to take a shot. It's a good idea to slow play this, but you're kind of giving it to him haphazardly. You want to make sure you're keeping your touches more towards the wall there. We can sort of slow this down. So I think this first touch is nice. You're meeting it on the left side of the ball, and you're just sort of tapping it to the right there so you could keep controlling it. But then you boost too far over, and you keep boosting. So you're applying too much momentum now to the center of the ball and throwing it away right towards Sombra. So try to make sure that when you are applying like boost and like active movements towards those dribbles, that you are facing the right direction when you are. Good kickoff win there. So you do get the shot in, but this is something we can look at a little bit slower so you can see why you're not producing as much power as you should. You're getting under that ball, and then you're side dodging or diagonally dodging into that. But when you turn in, you jump up, you want to get yourself tilted up, and just try to meet that with the front of your car and dodge straight into it. You're sacrificing a lot of power that you should be having on a lot of your shots because one, because you're not boosting through the shot with the dodge, but also just because you're not like lining yourself up enough properly. You're just like you're applying too much momentum initially to get yourself close to the ball, but you're not thinking about that well enough beforehand, so it's kind of throwing you off with how quickly you're going past the ball. Especially in ones, you know, usually if you go past the ball, it'll just be closer to your nets, and it's easy for them to break away. So it's important to make sure that you're trying to keep yourself between the ball and your net, so you're just able to keep a better line at a lot of these things. And again, just try to make sure that you're forward dodging through these shots and touches. Alright, well, thanks for sending in this replay. Leave a like if this helped you out at all. I appreciate you guys. I'd love to see any more of your replays, so send them on over. Make sure you're joining the Discord if you haven't already. All these links will be down below, including some giveaways and an in-house tournament that I'm doing. So, thanks, and I'll see you guys around.